born poor, mama was too. Walking through the snow, plastic bags on their shoes. Papa selling houses, sleeping in a car. 4 babies in the backseat, underneath the stars. Well, hey, hey, just work a little harder. Hey, hey, punching that clock with work and prayer and a little bit of luck. Make so much money, need a 10-ton truck. Ha, 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 ha.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Paul McMann here with Forex Smart Trade. It is Monday, August 14th, 2024. So glad you could join me this afternoon here at Forex Smart Trade. Our mission is to help you become a successful currency trader and change the financial trajectory of your life. Ouch. Oh. Just dropped the phone there. Good thing I got a new one coming. Where was I? So anyways, we will teach you how to trade with our proprietary trading indicators. They've been around almost a quarter of a century. They are very accurate. And once you know how to trade with them, you'll be able to succeed at currency trading. We are so confident in that once we've trained you, we'll let you trade with company funds and then split what you make. So with that, let's jump into it. We first need to start by listening to this guy.
Due to federal and state regulations, we are providing the following disclosure. Please stay tuned, as this will take less than a minute. Foreign exchange, futures, and cryptocurrency trading are highly risky, and you can lose all the money you invest should you decide to engage in live trading. We are not responsible for your investment, trading, or tax decisions. We are not licensed financial advisors, traders, accountants, stockbrokers, or attorneys. We are not licensed commodities brokers and do not engage in or facilitate commodities transactions. We are not an introducing broker, and we make no recommendation as to where you should invest or what broker you should trade with. As you apply what you learn, we recommend you seek advice from licensed professionals. Any trade results that we show should not be considered typical of our students. We do not and cannot track the results or performance of our students' private trading accounts. We do not know what a typical or average student earns or loses trading. This is not a get-rich-quick program, guaranteed system, or business opportunity. We sell training and trading tools. We make no promises our training or tools will generate future income for students, and you may not make your investment back, including your investment in this training. Any redistribution or recording of this material is strictly prohibited without advance written permission.
One of the great things about the program is that we do these live trade sessions, which help you. It's a teaching moment so that you can see how a successful trader goes about doing their analysis with our tools, and 2, so that you can see how accurate the tools are, and then 3, you'll walk away with a trade that is more likely than not to be a winner. When you're in the trial, you get access to these the Monday afternoon trade and the Tuesday and the Thursday morning trades. Once you become a member, we do a trade every day in the morning at 10 a.m. It tends to be a little scalp trade. We do another trade at 10 p.m. in the evening, which tends to be on the Australian and Asian markets. And one of the things that differentiates us is and helps you continue to be good is that we do provide continuous training. Every Wednesday afternoon, we have an advanced member session. And every Saturday morning, we have a back to the basics where we are focusing on continuing to review, and then we take questions so that you're able to get your answers quicker and advance quicker. All the greats have coaches, whether it's in sports or business. So having someone who's committed to your success, and we are committed to your success because you trade in our funds, will help you get better faster. I work off of a little checklist that helps keep me focused. And the first item on the checklist is to just make sure you restart your green charts every day. That helps make sure you have the most current version, and it also clears out your memory. At the end of every day, I like to have this as a continual reminder, is to do a little audit on the trades that didn't go the way you wanted, and try to figure out why. I do that. I've been trading over 4 years now. Every once in a while, I still make a mistake, and by going through and seeing what I did, that helps me to refresh in my mind so that I don't continue to do that mistake. So this review is very important, and not just in trading and just everything in life. We all kind of make mistakes here and there, and if we think about what we did during the day and what we could have done better, that's the key to improvement. We are technical traders. We are trading strictly based on the price action. However, news does impact currency prices, and we want to know what that news is so we can trade around it. And the best place I've found to see that news, although not the only place, is forexfactory.com. Forexfactory.com does a little bit of the work for me because it breaks down news into low impact, which is yellow, medium impact, which is orange, and high impact, which is red. And I like to stay away from these trading these red items. And my rule of thumb is that I'd like to be out of it 2 hours beforehand. Because what I find is on published numbers, the information starts to leak and the pair starts to move. So because of that unnatural movement, it's better to just sit on the side. So today we've got Australian dollar, some news on the Australian dollar tonight, and then some news on the Chinese yuan tonight. I don't trade the Chinese yuan just because it's China. The other thing we need to worry about is in Europe, there's bank holidays tomorrow. French banks are closed. Italian banks are closed. It looks like German banks are open, but because of that bank holiday, it's going to be an issue trading the euro. So I'm going to kind of decide. So I'm going to hold off on trading the euro, especially on the overnight trade for tonight, because our indicators are good when there's good volume. When there's not good volume, and the volume goes down when there's a bank holiday because the banks aren't trading. So we will hold off on taking a trade with the euro tonight. So let's see what that leaves us, and we'll take it from there. We've got a dozen different trade signals we can trade with. My favorite trade signal is something called the 10-point trade. When we teach you how to trade, we will create a trade plan that's customized to you and your availability to trade and your risk tolerances, because we've all got a little bit different, what's acceptable to me may not be acceptable to you. And I tend to have, on some things I'm conservative and some things I'm not. So we will kind of address that. On this trade, I like to do it off of a 1 hour chart. Although on the overnight trade, which we'll do at the end of this session, I do it off of a day chart. On the 1 hour chart, I want to be about 30 minutes into the chart, and the trade is going to be good for anywhere from 5 to 35 pips. And my sweet spot's 10, 11 pips, and I'm looking for the trade to close within 1 to 3 hours. So if I can get 11 pips 2-3 times a day, I've had a good day and I'm making good money, and I'm on to the other things I like to do. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look. The chart I'm going to be trading off of today is something called the Light 6 Major. It's one of the standard charts. It's a composite chart, and it is showing us 6 different currency pairs. On this first chart, they're all U.S. based. First one is Australian US dollar. I'm going to start with the middle section of the chart, which is what we call the majors and minors. The red and green line is our major indicator. The black and gray line is our minor indicator. This horizontal red line is the oversold line. So I am looking for situations where the market's oversold, and it's oversold when these lines are all below the red line and ideally pointing up, or when the market's overbought, that is, they are above the blue line and pointing down. It's very easy to see visually the way the charts are configured. So I want either the lines above the blue line or below the red line. So here, the minors are below the red line pointing up, which is what I want, but the majors are in the middle of the channel going down. So I don't have agreement. I want the major lines, the red and green, and the black and gray, all moving in the same direction. I don't have that here. So if I don't have it, I don't need to really look at anything else. So I'm just going to jump to my next chart. Euro US dollar. The majors are about 3/4 of the way through the channel. The minors are oversold and have started to turn, but again, no agreement. Pound USD. Majors are entering the channel, but the minors have already run through and have started to turn. So they're sideways here, but this is going down. So again, I don't have agreement, so I'm going to pass. Other thing I don't like is on our green line here, we have a kink in the line where it's going from more steep to less steep. And I want it to go the other way. I want it to go from less steep over here to more steep. So we don't have agreement there. Dollar, US dollar, Canadian dollar. We are approaching overbought, and things are starting to turn sideways. So nothing there. I'm looking. I want them overbought and everybody coming down. I don't have that. US dollar, Swiss franc, which is kind of the opposite. Here, the US dollar is the front pair. Here, it's the back pair, but this is kind of a mirror of this, just with the lines going the opposite direction. So majors going up, they're almost halfway or just touching the halfway line, but the minors are overbought and starting to turn. So nothing there. Dollar yen, we've just reached overbought and things are sideways. Minors are starting to come down. Majors are sideways. So nothing there. So I've cloned this chart and I've made some other pairs that are non-US based. So let's take a look here. Euro, pound, oversold, majors going down. I've been drifting down for a while here, last 6 hours. Minors have started to come up. So here's a case where we're oversold, and now can I make money in an oversold market? Taking a trade in an oversold market? Yes, I can. Here, I could have easily gotten 10 pips. What the heck? 15 pips here over 3 hours. Over 5 hours. So you could have got it over 3 because we could have got it off this candle. But that's just not part of my trade strategy. My trade strategy is to catch it at the top and then ride it all the way down, or catch it at the bottom and ride it all the way up. Here, I don't know how many pips it's going to be before it turns. When it's down here, it is eventually going to turn. Based on how I read it, I'm going to, this isn't a trade for me. Australian dollar yen. My wife was just in Australia. She came back Saturday, and while she was there for about 2 weeks doing some business, and she fell in love with the Matildas. The Matildas are the women's World Cup soccer team, and they have made it to the semifinals of the World Cup. They're underdogs, and she's not a soccer fan. So the fact that she came back saying, "Hey, I've been watching this soccer," or she'd call me and say, "Hey, I've started watching this soccer, and it's really great. The girls are fabulous." So unlike the American girls who aren't very proud of the U.S., the Australian girls are all very proud of being Australian and are having a lot of fun and making their country proud. So and I think they play. In fact, I'm going to try to watch this Wednesday or Thursday. I forget which day it is, and I get confused because it's a day different between us and them. So we are Australian yen. Majors are overbought, starting to go down. Minors are oversold, going up. So we don't have agreement. So nothing there. Euro Canadian dollar. Again, nothing. We are halfway through the channel. Majors going down, minors are turning. There are a lot of this. We're seeing a lot of this. Majors going one way, minors going the other. The reason we want everything going the same way is the more lines that are doing what we want, the higher the chance the move is going to be in the direction that we want. So we've got multiple pieces of information telling us that the move's going this way. And the more pieces of information we have telling us that, the more reliable the trade. Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, overbought. Everybody's going down, and we have what's called the double cross, where the red lines come over the green, and the black line has come over the gray. I don't mind that the miners have they're almost run through the channel. Here I'm deciding. So I've got 3 points here. 1, we're overbought. 2, everybody's kind of pointing down. And 3, I've got the double cross. My one piece of hesitancy is the slope of the green line. The slope of the green line does seem to be a little bit greater than 45 degrees, which is okay. I want the slope on this green line to be at least 45 degrees. So it looks like it's almost there. So we've got 3 points here. When I've got 3 points here, I am going to jump up to my TNTs. And there's 4 different lines up here, 2 orange lines, the thick and the thin orange, and the thick blue and the dotted blue. And I want to count how many lines are supporting the sell signal I see here. And I have the 2 orange lines are going down, and they're going down kind of steeply. Dotted blue is coming up. Dotted blue is the blue lines are inversely related. So the direction they're pointing in is the opposite direction of the move. So when blue is going up, that means sell. So 3 of the 4 are telling me sell. And then I want the pressure, the lines to be going down, or the red line to be on top. And I do have both the green and the red line going down. So I've got kind of very weak down pressure. What makes it weak is the slope of the green line. It's not that steep. It's actually less than 45 degrees, but it is going down. And the closeness of the lines. In this case, there's a big gap here between the lines. The closer the lines, like over here, the closer the lines, the stronger the signal. So I've got 3 points. So I've got 1 point here on the pressure, 3 points here on the majors and minors, and 3 points here, so that's 7 points. So we're looking at a sell on the AUD NZD. Although we're starting to lose a double cross here, but let's go ahead and take a little bit more detailed look at it to confirm the move. And the way I'm going to confirm the move is open up a multi-chart, a multi-chart a multi-time period chart on the pair. So here I am going to open the AUD NZD, but I'm looking at different time periods. So here's the chart we were just looking at, the hour chart. I want to confirm the move by looking at the 2 hour and the 4 hour. And basically, I want to see where the majors and minors are. Ideally, I want the majors and minors on the 2 and 4 hour to be overbought also. They don't have to be going down, but I want them to be overbought. And the reason being is if this signal weakens, like it's starting to here, where it's going, it's the line is uncrossing and the steepness of the green line is going to less than 45 degrees, that I'll eventually get the trade off of the 2 hour or the 4 hour. It'll just take longer for it to happen. So here it just is just got up shy of the overbought line and started to turn. And here it has already started to turn. It's coming down. The majors are, the minors are the other way. So this is almost, it's not ideal, but it's kind of almost where I want it to be. It's not ideally, I'd want the lines up here and up here. I wouldn't care as much about them turning. But since both are turned, I'll give that a little bit extra because the moves have started here. So with that, the next thing I want to do is kind of see where our support and resistance are and what the trend is on this. So I'm going to open up a clean chart. AUD NZD. Now, the good thing about AUD NZD is it is, it's approaching morning in New Zealand. It is morning. It's 6 a.m. there tomorrow. So what is our trend? So the trend is the way it's been trading over, the last several, over some time period. So here it's down, here it's up, and here it looks kind of sideways. And the reason I want to know that is because if I'm trading with the trend, I can take more pips than if I'm trading away from the trend. Because if I'm trading away from the trend, I don't want to get stuck. I don't want to get stuck getting bypassed. So, and then I want to know where my support and resistance are. Support and resistance are spots where the candles seem to naturally stop. So they've stopped here, stopped here, stopped here, stopped here, stopped over here, over here, over here. And that's going to become the channel in which I figure out how many pips I want to take. Because of these stopping points, and on a 1 hour chart, they tend to be about 30, 40 pips apart. So here it stops, here it stops, here it stops, over here, over here. So I'm going to trade within that channel. And let's open this back up so we can see it a little bit better. And we're at 108.48 to 108.61. So that's 3. That's only 13. But that's kind of where it is. So that's what we're going to we're going to respect that for now. There we go. So you can see how it's bouncing on this line. So then I want to know how much distance we have to each side of the line. So here we've got 6 pips this way. And six pips each way. You drop in one more line here, just let's so we were looking at a sell. What I'm thinking about is if I want to take a trade for only 6 pips, we could maybe squeeze it. Oops. Squeeze it to 14. But we have to go through that line. This line, let me get rid of it. That shouldn't really be there. So I'm trying to decide if that's if it's worth it. Like, I don't really like to take trades for less than 10 pips because of the risk. Like, my strategy is to get 10 pips 3 times a day. So this only gives us 6. Let me take one more look at the signal and see. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take a trade on this for, let me just see what, let's see what I want one more piece of information. I want to know what the spread is. So so let's go to File, New Chart, AUD, NZD, AUD, NZD, not there. AUD, NZD, here it is. So the spread is 3.6 to 4, 3.7 to 4. It's about 9 points, just under a pip. Just under a pip. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a sell. This is a demo account. It's got $9,200 in it. Since we're going to be taking multiple trades, good rule of thumb is you can have 2 open trades by moving this decimal spot over 4 spots to get your lot size. So if I want to do new order, and I'm going to put in here 0.92. Actually, let's go 0.93. And it's going to be sell by market. And then I am going to right click on it and go to modify. And let's see what 8 pips looks like. 8 pips is 80 points. And this, if we do a 3-to-1, that's going to be 224 pips. So 240 points. I click this little button, it does the math for me. I click this little button, it does the math for me. Plop it in. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. We're hitting all of these candles. You know, I could maybe pull it down to this candle, but let's go back and look. 80.0848, and we're at 0846. So we're just inside of this number. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it there because I want to get in and get out. All right. So that is the overnight trade. Let's go ahead, or excuse me, that's the live trade. Let's go ahead and take a look at the overnight trade. The overnight trade, I take 2 of them, one on the Euro USD, and I take it by taking a look at in the last hour off of the day chart. So we got 57 minutes left, and it's a kind of a modified version of the 10-point trade, but I'm only looking at what the green line is doing here. And the green line is oversold and going down. It's not that steep, but that's telling me sell. And then I confirm it with the 12 and the 8. 12-hour oversold going up. 8-hour oversold and going up quite steeply. 4-hour coming down. 2-hour sideways, 1-hour coming down. So we're not going to take, so since I do not have agreement, I want the day chart, the 12-hour, and the 8-hour all to be telling me the same thing, and they're not here. The other reason we're not going to do it is because the trading's going to be off a little bit tomorrow because of the bank holidays. So we're going to pass on that. So let's go take a look at our pound yen. Oops, pound yen over here. So here's the day chart on the pound yen, overbought, going up. And it's almost exhausted. It's at 9.7, but up is up. Confirmation on the 12-hour, overbought, going up. Not quite as exhausted. On the 8-hour, going up and going up quite steeply. Even less exhausted, even though the green line isn't overbought. 4 hours going up, 2 hours going up, and 1 hour is coming down. So we're going to go ahead and take a 22 pip buy on the pound yen. So we'll come over here. Pound yen, I already have that open. And I'm going to click new order. We're going to keep the same lot size, 0.93. And you're going to see when I take this trade, this margin level is going to go down to about 1,000, maybe a little bit less. So we're going to take a market buy. And went down to 720. Usually I like to keep this at around 1,000. So at this lot size, I can have 2 open trades. And I can either go half on this lot size and have more open trades if I want to be a little bit more conservative, or half on this lot size, or double the lot size if I'm only going to take 1 trade. So we did a buy. I'm going to right click on it, go to modify. And here we're going to take 22 pips, which is 220 points. And I click the little blue button. It does the math for me. And here we're going to use a 3-to-1. So 22 pips is 66 pips for a stop loss. Add the 0 because we're talking points here. Click the copy as. It does the math. Then go to modify. And I see this. Now, if I were trading by myself, I might grab this and pull it down to hit under these lines. Add another, what is that going to be? Another 10 pips to it. I prefer not to get stopped out. And the pound yen is volatile, so sometimes it does bounce around before it goes in the right direction. But I'm pretty sure we'll get that direction that we're looking for. So to recap, we took 2 trades today. The overnight trade is on the pound yen. We've got to take profit of 184. It was a buy, 184.699. And I'm writing this down. With a stop loss of 183.814. And we've got a sell on the AUD-NZD, and I didn't go over those numbers with you. Sorry about that. 1.08465, 1.08465 with a stop loss of 1.08785. So that's a stop loss of 1.08785. That was for it was like 8 pips, I think we took. And take profit of 1.08465. Okay, gang, thanks so much for joining me. It is an honor. I am, that people come and watch me is very humbling. So thank you. We will do this again tomorrow morning at 6:30 Eastern time. I will expect this trade to close in about 3 hours, and the pound yen will probably be closer to 8 hours before it closes. Okay, great. Thanks. We will see you. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.